It's Will and Jay. We're here with our good friends Alan, Nick, and Jason. Tonight's a very special episode. As I kind of said in a post earlier, all these episodes are going to be super cool and an awesome experience for me and Jay. But nothing hits more to home than having some of our team here with us. Me and Jay get a ton of praise for doing this event, but honestly, we're nothing without the team that we have behind us. And these guys dedicate multiple days a week, easily 80 plus hours the week of the convention. Some of them from like 7 a.m. to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. So we're super excited to have you guys here with us and just give everyone a chance to meet some of our awesome team. But Jay made time for us. Yes. Oh man. So kind of start off, Al. You are one of the heads of security for the convention. You've been that is the rumor, right? So you've been with us for someone's phone is Al, you've been with us for you're all good. You've been with us for the past at least 2 years. But you've been attending the con since year one, right? So give us a little backstory on Al. What did you do? Prior to doing the con. Uh, yeah, well, both, I guess. Yeah. Bobby's. Oh, hold on. Bobby's saying we can't hear.
Few stories in there, that I could probably tell, but not in mixed company, or
Right. Yeah. For sure. Well, we definitely always been appreciative. Well, you and your wife coming to our event every year. You guys have always been great. I met you personally. I can't remember. Did I meet you waiting tables at Gagan's first, or was it the convention?
I think it was actually Gagan's first. And then we saw you at the convention, and it was like, that guy works at Gagan's.
Yeah. That's what I think it was. And I was like, that guy makes me do stuff for him at Gagan's.
Yeah. But I tipped it.
You do, yeah. No, you guys are great. I always appreciate you guys being there. And then at the convention, you guys are always there for the whole weekend. You always go around. You actually interact with people and everything. Like, besides doing security and whatnot, you were there as a patron first. So it was always it was great to have you join. I was joking with Will before where I was saying, Alan's one of those people, you and Donnie, having you guys on the security, because it's like, you guys are such genuine people, and it probably would take a lot to really make you, lose your mind on somebody. So we were like, those guys are perfect for security, because if they kick somebody out, that person messed up. Like, I don't even need to say anything to that person at all, because I already know. Like, if they had to say something to you, you did something wrong, and they already addressed it.
Right, yeah.
So I definitely appreciate having you guys on board.
You definitely messed
Yeah, well,
up.
and for the record, that's never actually had to happen. So
Right. Yes.
You know.
Absolutely. No, it hasn't. We've very good patrons every year. I don't think we've ever had to kick anybody out, honestly.
No.
Even with Chris running it, I don't think anybody's been kicked out.
No, we've had a few stalkerish type as far as guests or people, cosplayers, but those were addressed pretty quick.
People we had to deter.
But I think another thing with Jay saying, Jay is back in the shower, Justin. Absolutely. I think one of the other cool things, to just further kind of give Al a pat on the back. So all of our volunteers throughout the weekend, they obviously get into the convention for free. If they've got family, a lot of our volunteers, staff, they've got wife, girlfriend, kids, and they devote so much time. We always let the family in for free, as well as kind of hook them up with autographs and whatnot at the end of it. But every year, no matter what, even though we're like, Al, you're here for this, your wife's covered, don't worry about it. I'll be sitting at home or in the office, and I'll get an email order placed by Alan, and they'll still buy 2 VIPs and get all, even though all that stuff was offered to them, they still go above and beyond to support this and, do more than they need to do. So it's super appreciated. And I feel like, everybody, as far as we have for volunteers, we're just super lucky with the team that we have behind us, and everyone has the best interest of the convention, and making this event run fun and smooth, and so we couldn't be any luckier than that.
Well, the nice thing is that everybody involved really started that way. Even when Chris started it, it was like Will was his right hand man, and Renfro and I. I'm trying to remember. I'm almost positive it was the first convention. Will and I kind of had been talking a little bit about him doing it, but Renfro and I went as just patrons.
Yeah.
And then we were like, "Hey, you need any help with anything?" Like we were still like,
we got
you need to move a box.
Here we are.
Yeah. And then I remember there was a time I think you gave us either you or Chris gave us passes or something, but I remember that we stepped outside and we were holding our passes. We're like, how are we just walking around at this thing, being part of it or whatever? We were so stoked.
I had bought 3-day passes for the first one and then ended up not needing any of them at all.
Right. Yes. Yep. And then it's so funny how it went from there, and then to see and that's why I love having all you guys on it, is because all of us started coming to this convention as fans of it, and to then be able to take it over and from having that perspective, we know what it's like to walk into it and have expectations, and now we get to kind of carry that over and try to fulfill those expectations and push them further. I'm very happy with how we were able to transcend with what Chris had built, but this year, man, oh my God, it's just, it Will and I were just talking about how we pretty much, we're starting over again with everything, flights and agents and all that stuff. And you guys were right there, Jason, all of you guys, every meeting, we went through everything for it, and we were all so ready. And then it was just well, pack up your things and we'll see you next season.
Pretty much.
Yeah, no, I think we've definitely been very lucky, as you said, Al, like I said, Al's been here for a number of years. Nick and you have been here since year one. We're always adding to the family, and as the convention grows, we're able to add more volunteers or staff on.
Right.
But at the same time, turnaround is it's not a real thing. We've got a few problem child, that we have, that come up, or people that, hey, thank you, but it's you're not a great fit for us. But we've been super lucky that we've had people that have started year one with us, and are still there now and have been able to take on bigger roles. Um, and it's just awesome to know, like, we've got people that are so passionate about this, that love this, and even though they're not they're not JRI running everything, they still put everything that they have into this to make this succeed, and get excited. It's awesome. Like, we've had what, Rudder's been there since year one, Don's been there since year one, Con Mom, like, Jess Swan, and it was a lot of these people were just, Blackmare, even, he kind of, he's another one of those where he kind of comes in, last minute, but he's, when we need him, he's there. And
we put him somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Adam Hughes, like, he's been there since year one. He's always been great.
Yeah, Adam's always been there. And and a lot of you guys, like Jay, you did it year one. Nick, you've done it the past few years. Nick kind of helps handle all the transportation aspect.
Big time.
Like picking
the
up
transporter.
Yeah, literally, you are the transporter.
Yeah, he picks everybody up at the airport, brings them to their hotels, brings them out to do things, shopping, see the town, whatnot. Go record shopping.
After the convention.
And then after the convention is still going above and beyond. And and never ask for anything back, or we'll try to give some of these guys money when they go out to grab food or gas in their vehicles, and all of you guys are just like, don't even worry about it. And not asked of you guys, but it's super awesome to know that, like, we've got people, you guys, that care so much about this, and just you guys are all going above and beyond.
Well, yeah, like, Will and I make the final decisions, but we all run it together. Like, really, I don't know what we would do without everybody that we have. And also on that note, not just everybody that's on the screen right now, to anybody watching, we hope to kind of scatter these episodes where we're going to bring in more people that have been core members of this convention since year one and whatnot, and just are invaluable, what I mean, like, people that we really need to run this, and they've become family. And I never really felt so much really part of, like, I've always felt like part of the BCTC family, but honestly, it was this Festival of Lights parade that we did that really made me feel like part of this little family. Like, it really made me realize, like, what we had, because I think that might have been the first, like, outside of the actual convention that we had gotten together, that I was part of it, that we had all been part of, like, an event. So it was different, and it just really, really made me feel like, okay, these people they're like in it because they just want to be part of it. This isn't just about the convention, which is really nice.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and like we said, it's not just staff meetings. It's not just, being there that weekend. Like, this is a family. We try to do events together. The Festival of Lights was awesome. And any little things, we've kind of done some charity events in the past. We've got Mom, who sits there and will knit all of these items and help give them out. And it really is like, it's and me and Jade, like, we toss the word around a lot, but we mean it. When we say BCTC is family, it's all one huge family, from the people that from the staff that works with us, to vendors that have coming back for years. New vendors come in. We try to make everybody feel welcome. Comic artists, like, look at Sal. Like Sal was saying, I hadn't done many conventions, and I show up to your guys's, and I just instantly feel like I'm one of the guys. I'm part of the team. And then cycle back to the following year, I've got a crazy line at my table for this relatively not unknown artist, and then I've got a panel, and I've got a room overfull of people in my panel room, and he's like, I don't get it. Like, how is this happening? So it's just crazy to see, like, the love and support that everybody has for this. And then Jason, you are running the cosplay for us, but you also do a lot more than just cosplay. You've helped multiple times with video editing, video production for us. few months back, well, more than a few months back, you helped us
At this point, yeah.
Right, you helped us do the promo video to announce, we had the Easter eggs there with some of the guests that we were going to have coming, but also announced that we were moving into the arena. And then on top of that, you've done photo stuff for us, and then you obviously helped do the announcement for the Fortnite tournament that we're going to be doing with Jason Mewes.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that one, actually.
So I mean, you've kind of dabble in everything, and it's just super appreciated. Like, you guys all bring something to the convention, and to the team that we wouldn't be able to do without all of you guys. So again, just thank you guys so much. Thank you to the rest of the team that is watching. Nicole, hey Ryan, how's it going? He says, "What's up, everyone?" Bobby,
Ryan, what's up?
There was a vendor we almost kicked out. We won't mention names. We all know who it is, and we'll kind of leave that at that one there.
We don't need to talk about that.
Chris Gagne, hey guys, nice to see you're doing this to keep us hyped. Can't wait to see you all again, Chris. We miss you as well. Chris is one of the awesome cosplayers. Super great dude. Miss you, man. Hope you're doing well and staying safe in all of this. And hey, Jared, another one of our amazing staff. And
Chris
Jared,
Kenny, Corey Henley, Jesse Parsons.
Dang, he's filling up. And then, Jared McKay, who is, you guys will all kind of get to see, hopefully we'll be seeing in a large role for us this fall. He's going to be handling all of announcements, live production. He's basically going to be like our Billy on the Street type, larger than life character, just keeping people entertained and having fun doing promo videos for us. And Jared, again, he was somebody that kind of came out of the woodworks. Same thing, like he's hopped in and been full force with everything, be it movie premieres, dressing up in cosplay for us, braving the cold and helping set up for the Festival of Lights. He went out of his way and bought an extra Christmas tree, and lights, and stood out there and froze his ass off for us. What do we got from Chris? You guys are much cuter in person. This is true. This is true. Donnie, Al. I see I do it all the freaking time. Yeah. Duncan asks, Dad, why don't you tell me you're doing these things?
Wait, who's Duncan?
Duncan is Al's.
That's mine.
That's Al's.
That's my son.
That's his son.
I was like, Dad. I was like, well,
I made this.
Because I know, like, Mom.
I made
Christina is known as Mom. So I'm like, wait, Dad now.
Hi, Orion. Orion is Nicole's son. He's awesome. He comes out at all the conventions. We miss you, buddy. Hope you're doing good. Sheena. Hey, Sheena. How's it going? I used to work with Sheena, and she goes to the con. She goes to a bunch of cons, and she's absolutely awesome. So I miss you, Sheena. I hope you're doing well. I think we're kind of caught up. Corey waved hi to us.
Bruce Shaw. Hi, Bruce.
This is the only way I can see Jason, by the way. For some reason, he's not up on my screen anymore.
He's definitely there in the live video, so at least that's...
At least I think I'm here.
A keyboard in front of him, doesn't he?
Yeah, does he? I don't know. I just see his...
No, I said he looks like he should have a keyboard.
Yeah, I keep moving the cursor for the comments, and every now and then it pops up on the thing. So Al, we kind of got a little bit of your backstory. Nick, we kind of talked a little bit about yours, but kind of let you, kind of share your experience and how you got started, with the convention. And there's Bruce. Hey, Bruce.
Hi, Bruce Shaw.
What's up, Bruce?
I can't wait to play Call of Duty with you later. Well, I got started with the convention because the first night there was a concert to kind of ring in the convention the first year, and they played, and then I was there all weekend. Me and Jay were hanging out there and kind of started getting roped into doing little small tasks, and then the next time I ended up sitting with Nichelle Nichols, and then the next time I ended up sitting with Tony Todd, and then also started doing the transportation aspect of things and bringing people to and from Bangor to Orno at that point when it was in Orno. So it was fun. But I and then pretty much started doing the transportation solely, and then just helping around the convention while I wasn't driving people to and from wherever. But there's plenty to do. There's plenty to keep you occupied. That's for sure.
Little short story before we I bring in Jason's backstory with us. So that the concert that Nick was talking about, that very first year, that's how I actually got involved with the BCTC. Is just started talking with Chris, and he was talking about doing the Friday Night Live thing, and not sure the best way to go about that, or how to reach out to people. And at the time, I was doing the Banner Year, which Jay and I used to be in, and I just said, hey, I book shows. I'd be more than willing to kind of help out with this piece. And there was another promoter, which I don't think they are around anymore, which we won't say names, but basically was telling Chris and I that we were crazy to go with local bands. And we had Too Late to Hero, Friday Night Lights, Holy Filth played. Banner Year.
F Court opened it up.
We had
right.
Skosh. And they were saying how they were saying how we were. I'm sure there was a few more too, but they were saying how crazy Chris was to allow me to do something like this, and it'll never work, and no one will be there, and he needed to have more bar style cover bands, and that very first Friday Night Live, I think we had almost 300 people. In that hallway packed in, and it was nuts, and it was loud, and Chris was like, well, shit, I guess somebody doesn't know what they're talking about, because this was amazing, and from there just kind of I just kind of stepped in and helped wherever I could, kind of like the same, brought Jay and Nick in, and we were always looking for extra help, and so it's just it's funny how we all kind of started off in these much smaller roles and have been able to grow and continue to help keep this event alive and going.
Yeah, 100%. It's hard. It's always going back, trying to be positive. We're doing this stuff and everything to keep our heads up, but it's at the same time, it's just such a friggin' bummer, that all this is going on. And I mean, our convention would have come and gone by now, and that just blows my mind. That
it's hard, not doing the convention and just being I'm supposed to be off from work. I'm supposed to be doing this convention.
Yeah, I was depressed all that weekend too. I want to be there.
Yeah, my phone had all that in my calendar, so every day it kept being no tattoos, BCTC, all day, whatever, and yeah, man.
Amy and I had the same thing.
We have our reason. Oh yeah. And it's some people were posting photos and memories from last year and reminiscing, and I would do, but I just inside of me, I'm just so not bitter, but just so bummed out. Everything was lining up. The stars were all aligned. Nobody had canceled yet. Just everything was going so smooth. I guess I should have known because everything was running so smoothly.
Yeah, I think if I can kind of add anything to that, and I'm gonna read Chris's comment after because it's awesome. And Chris can also attest is with these conventions, people still get shocked or upset that a guest cancels. In doing this and being a part of these for all the years we've been doing this, it's bound to happen. We're all prepared that at least there's always one, and you're always kind of prepared having backups in mind. and whatnot. And I think this was the first year where that was not the case. Like we were, basically a month out, we were booking everybody's flight, and we're like, wow, like everyone's still coming. Like we don't have a cancellation. We don't have a last minute cancellation this year. So like, and moving to the arena, all of the meetings, we had started meetings back in July or August last year, probably August or September actually. And just had a ton of things in place. So it was definitely a shot in the gut. That this happened, and all we can do is hopefully this fall we just bring it bigger and better, and be able to show everybody what we have spent the past year as a team working on. I just want to read Chris's comment here for a minute. Chris was the reason Bangor Comic and Toy Con is even a thing. Chris started this, allowed all of us to become part of that family, and a couple years ago was gracious enough to give me the opportunity to kind of take over for him. And I can't thank Chris enough for having that trust that hey, this is my baby. This is something that I've put so much time and effort into over the years, and entrusting somebody to kind of take that over and hope that they're going to do it good and do it justice. But Chris said, if I can add anything, I can honestly say that when we all met, however we met, it felt like you all were close friends, and I was the old guy you let hang with you. I had no clue what I was doing, so things fit because they were meant to be. My rule on Friday Night Live was I wanted all local bands that had the balls to play their own music.
Oh yeah, I love it. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you even being on the feed here and jumping in and everything. It's we had to get you up, so you can set up a table at one of these events. Be on the other side, and
I think he's aiming for trying to come up in October.
Cool.
Yeah, so he was going to try to do April, but things had come up. But he had messaged me a little while ago and said, hey, if there's a chance I can come up in October, would you guys be able to make room for me? And I, obviously told him
absolutely not. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It's the vibe was there for sure, and it did work out because Renfro and I have been friends forever. Will and I have been friends forever. Chris, he came in and started something that just happened that we all, our little web kind of jumped into it, and Chris he fit, but he happened to be the guy, so we were all our own little thing, but we were all what do you need from us?
Yeah. Oh, walkie-talkies? I'll go buy your walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
We'll
make it happen.
Get them.
I remember at the Bangor Fest when the screenwriter for Christine was about to do the ceremony or whatever, and he's like, I need a cigar. He's like, I need a cigar. I was like, oh, I don't know where to get a cigar. There's a store down the street. And he's like, well, I've got 10 minutes or something. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go. And I remember stopping by Chris, and he's like, what are you doing? I was like, I got to run up to the store. I got to grab him a cigar. He needs a cigar. He's like, well, you don't need to go do that. And I'm just like, well, but he asked me to. So, so I'm going to go do that. So, I remember speeding there, down College Ave, sped there, got, a pack of just, one of those, I don't know. He wasn't even actually going to smoke it. It was just for, effect. I knew whatever looked like it, and I got back there, and I got it for him, and thank God I got that cigar.
And then a guy married a car.
The guy married a car.
The guy married a car.
I think to kind of reiterate more on Jay's story, I think that happened with a lot of us, kind of being fresh to this. We were kind of so naive that not knowing that some of these guests already had certain things, and they're like, oh yeah, I could really use a coffee, and somebody would go out and do a Starbucks run and spend $50 on coffee for people, and then Chris would be like, "What the hell are you doing? Like, that's not your job. Like, they have money. They get money. They can do that. Like, you don't need to spend your own money on this." Or, who was it? Year one, we had an artist who didn't have supplies. So was it you, Jay? You had to like run over to Staples.
That was year two.
Yep.
I'm not gonna say who it was because I don't want to like shame anybody, but yeah, I gave him a ride to Staples. Next thing I know, he's pitching all these ideas of like, yeah, like all I need to do this is I need like these markers, I need to buy some printouts, I need like an easel and paper, and I'm like, okay, cool, like go get it. And he's just like, well, like, do you have money for it? And I'm just like, well, what do you mean? Like, I'm supposed to buy this stuff for you? And like, it was just me and him at Staples. And I think I had like $40 and I like bought his stuff. And I remember I came back and I told Chris about it. And Chris was like pissed. It was almost like, well, I not almost like, I feel like it was like somebody advantage, of one of his family members, like somebody that was part of his team. Like, oh, that is not how this works. Like, they have their own money. They're supposed to have their own supplies. Like, blah, 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 blah. He got my money back. Didn't even, like, ask for it. I was, like, all in. He was just like, no, that is not how this works. It's like he had to show me, like, listen, this is, and he, like, resolved it in front of me. And I was like, all right, wow, okay.
Yeah, I think the thing with Chris is like, if Chris is a great guy, not was, he is a great guy, and if always had our back for anything and everything, but like if you got on Chris's bad side or you pissed him off, that was luckily I've never had to see that side of Chris. I mean, I've seen it, but not at me. But yeah, he is definitely not somebody you wanted to be, to have on your bad side. I got to hear stories at Bangor Fest about somebody, a vendor there, obviously the artist with Jay, and then a volunteer one year, deciding when Chris took a bunch of us out to dinner Saturday night, and
oh my God,
the person decided to be a little bit of a smart ass. Chris, you remember this one if you're still watching? And they ordered and John, shout out to John and the Seasons family. They thanks, Bobby. We
wants us to talk about him so bad.
Yeah, right. He's like pushing for us, like, come on, boys, come on, I'll help you. So Seasons would still does comps a meal for some of the staff and the guests Saturday night, and steak with a side order of steak, absolutely. So we were all like, oh, what am I gonna get? And one of them was like, can I get the steak? And I'm like, yeah, what would you like for your side? Can I have another steak? I gotta tell you, that was the first time I've ever seen Chris go off. And like the table behind us, like the guy was like looking back, like, hey, like I'm here with my family. Can you kind of cool it? He's like, yeah, man, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm just trying to deal with this bullshit right now. And we're just like, oh man, like he's like, you get the waitress back over here and you cancel that right now. He's like, they're doing this for us and you're fucking taking advantage. And I was like, God.
Donald Trump.
Just reconnected. All right, and we're back. All right, sorry about that, guys. Looks like we kind of cut out for a second there. So yeah, he tells the waitress, "No, I don't really need that second steak. I was just joking." And she's like, "Yeah, okay, no worries." And so then the food comes out, and we're all sitting there, and she puts down the steak with a side of steak. And I never saw somebody's face like turn so white and so scared in my life. And he goes, yeah, I didn't need that second steak. And she's like, well, we were already cooking it, so you got it. And like, it was like when your dog like does you wrong and gets yelled at, like that sad puppy dog like cower. Like that was this poor person. I shouldn't say poor. That was this person the rest of the meal. Oh man.
Did they eat the steak or take it with them?
I think he ended up taking it with him, or like trying to be like, "Hey, does anybody want some steak? Like, I'll share my other one with you."
I see Bobby Fitzgerald just joined us. What's up, Bobby?
Oh, Bobby, what's going on,
What's going
man?
on, man?
Used to do a ton of shows with Bobby back in the day.
Yeah, right. Side note, I feel like we should jump in. Jason over here.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, poor Jason's been
normal, everyday dress attire.
Right? Right. This is what I wear every day.
Dress.
So, Jason, what are you? Well, first off, what's your cosplay? What are you rocking over there?
It's my original Fallout character. I've designed myself.
And what is a Fallout?
I swear to God, bro, you just. I look forward to that too, though, every time.
I thought it was funny though because obviously I was joking, but then the other person was like, "I'm glad you asked because I was wondering the same thing."
It gets better every time because no one knows you're joking.
Wait, real quick, side note, Chris, you hate being disrespectful or you hate being disrespected?
Good question.
Yeah. Please reiterate. We'll come back. Jason, you got a name for this Fallout character?
Yeah, I call him Big Bear.
Big Bear.
Big Bear.
Mostly because I was listening to the soundtrack of Super Troopers, and the fight song at the end is Big Bear, and I'm like, that'd be a great name.
I was thinking you named it after Rabbit's costume when he's out.
Oh, when he's having sex with him. Jay, I'm gonna let you read Chris's comment out loud.
Oh, okay, here we go. Sorry. Let's see. Sorry, I'm on the shitter. I hate people being disrespectful. Okay. That's what I thought you were going with it. But then I was like, wait, like he forced you to be disrespectful and you didn't enjoy that?
I hate it when people make me be disrespectful.
It grinds.
It works. It grinds
I hope
my
everything
gears.
comes out all right, Chris.
You just drove me to be disrespectful at you.
So, Jason, along with that, what are some of your favorite cosplays to do or build?
Well, anything apocalyptic because it's just so easy. Because if you screw it up, boom, it's apocalyptic right away.
Yeah, pretty much. You just throw some smoke on it. Rust.
Right.
There you go.
Roll around outside in the dirt, call it good, you know?
Pretty much.
But on that, my Spider-Man I used to do.
Just so that anybody knows, any costume that you mess up, any costume, you just wrap your in tinfoil and go as a leftover. You can always be so that everybody knows. You always have that backup. If you do half of a costume, the rest of it, just wrap yourself in tinfoil, and you're a leftover. You're good to go. That's my tip for tonight.
Sound advice.
Sound advice from Jay.
The best advice.
So anything post-apocalyptic, Spider-Man, definitely love your Spider-Man. And
everyone does.
And obviously, like for the last year or two, you've been helping with BCTC. But prior to that, you were going as a fan. What got you involved or wanting to, become involved with the convention?
It was more or less, I was asked and I said yes.
That's fair.
Because I met Will through guys at Winter House and.
Oh, did we lose you, Jason?
I got it.
We'll see him the whole time.
There.
Am I here? Yeah, I am here.
We were like, it just kind of like froze for a minute, so I don't know what was.
Yeah.
Are you sure you're here, Jason?
Physically, not mentally. I don't think.
Whoa, the live feed's all wonky.
What just happened?
I think OBS is crashing, possibly.
Will show. Yeah, that's possible, honestly.
Yeah, I think OBS could be screwing up because no, I don't even have anybody on the.
It's just you. I'm like looking at my phone.
Yeah.
Jake keeps freezing up on mine.
Yeah,
Everybody else looks fine.
I just lost everybody on OBS.
Can they hear us?
Wow. Okay.
What's happening?
Will, you gotta save us.
I'm trying to. All right, so I'm going to pause the live video for a minute, and we'll come back once I fix it.
Right.
Maybe it's virus.